This is a string review of the Babolat RPM team, string of choice of the world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz. I spent multiple weeks testing the RPM team against the popular RPM Blast at the same tension in 2 identical match brackets. It's supposed to be slightly softer than the RPM Blast, so how does it play on court? Honestly, I find these 2 strings to be so similar in terms of power, control, and spin. Having all other variables controlled, I can switch between the 2 setups with no adjustments at all and getting very similar results on court. It can be hard to tell which I'm playing with at times if I didn't have 2 different dampeners placed in 2 different frames. The biggest difference I can articulate are the feel and how they age over time. RPM Blast is known to have incredible playability and feel when it's fresh, but that peak performance has an incredibly short lifespan. When the shiny coating wears off, it plays with less spin, less control, can launch the ball with a deader and stiffer feel. That's why it's amazing for pros who are getting their strings for free and they're able to cut out their strings with a couple hours of play at most. The RPM team, on the other hand, straight off the stringer, doesn't seem to have as shiny of a coating to start with. So it plays kind of more like RPM Blast, like an hour or 2 in. To me, it does not have that magical responsive feel you get with a fresh set of RPM Blast. I feel more connected to the ball, especially when I'm accelerating fully with the fresh set of RPM Blast. But I also don't find the playability drop off or change nearly as much as the RPM Blast. It could due to the pre-stretch technique that it's manufactured with. I find the overall feeling to be a bit more muted, with quite a bit better playability duration than RPM Blast. Personally, I didn't have any comfort issues with either, so I can't comment too much about whether the team is more comfortable, which is allegedly the reason Carlos Alcaraz switched from the RPM Blast. Overall, I would recommend the RPM team if you're currently a recreational player using RPM Blast. I think you might find similar performance to RPM Blast with more consistent playability over a longer duration of time, since as most of you watching are not cutting out your strings every couple hours. If you're not already using RPM Blast and it's a huge fan, to be honest, I don't think there's anything special about the string that will attract you to it. For competitive and professional players who are getting their strings from Babolat for free and are always able to play with a fresh set, I definitely think the RPM Blast performs better straight off the stringer with a more unique and magical feel. Follow me for more racket and string reviews and comment down below what you want to see next.